Hey everyone, my name's Jackie and this is Jackie is Making, a place where I talk about all the things that I'm doing to create more slow fashion and home decor through mostly knitting and sewing. And today I have for you something a little bit different. This is going to be my April favorites. So if you guys watch a lot of YouTube, you've probably seen so many of these videos and they're one of my favorites to watch because if you guys are anything like me, I love researching, watching reviews, reading reviews, testing different products, and just trying to find the best thing for me. I'm the type of person where if I'm gonna use shampoo, I wanna use the best shampoo. And if I'm gonna buy a white t-shirt, who makes the best white t-shirt like within the best price range, that's the most like sustainable, eco-friendly, but also is gonna last me the longest. Like I go through so many of these criteria to get the best purchase because I don't know, once I started making my own money, it was just like, how can I spend this the most efficiently? I think there's nothing more frustrating than making a purchase that you're dissatisfied with later, that you either have to return or you forget to return or you can't return and you're just like left feeling so dissatisfied. So I'm just one of those people, like it's my main goal in life to be satisfied with all of my purchases and to just like enjoy life and like be a smart consumer and buy good things. So anyways, that's what I'm going to be talking with you guys about today. Just going through some of my favorites that I've used this month. I'm also going to include some fun things like what's my favorite TV show, my favorite album, my favorite recipe, like that sort of thing. So if this is a type of video that you would like to see more of from me, please like this video and leave me a comment down below telling me that. You can also find me on Instagram and Ravelry at Jackie is Making, and let's just get right into the video. So before we get started, I'd love to thank the sponsor of today's video, Louisa Jewelry. So Louisa is one of those companies that just like so perfectly fits into those values I was just talking about, where on one hand, they really care about the quality of their jewelry, and then on the other, they really care about providing us with a good price for their jewelry as well. And they just marry perfectly together to provide us with such a good product. And I'm so excited to share with you today that they have 25% off for their Mother's Day sale. And I think it's just a perfect gift and a perfect item to either get for yourself, treat yourself kind of moment, or also to pick out and get something for your mom, just as like a staple, solid item. Like you'd be gifting her something so beautiful and you might be introducing her to her new favorite jewelry brand, which I think is so cool. And one item I think that she would love is one of the items that I picked out this month, and you can see here, these are the earrings. I will showcase a little video feature for you guys of some of the items that I picked out. I picked out these silver earrings that are almost in this like chain form, and you can take them apart and wear them with or without this bottom chain, which I think is so cool. These are very timeless, but also a little bit trendy. I also picked out a ring that I think just like goes really well with my everyday rings. So I always wear my wedding ring and I always wear my Aura ring, but I feel like this one just kind of fits so perfectly. It's dainty and really offsets my Aura ring. But yeah, Louisa is just a great company. I love that they strength test and also humidity test all of their pieces, and all their pieces have a 2-year warranty. So they really back up that claim with that. They also have free shipping within the US and also free exchanges. So you just really can't go wrong. If you guys are interested in checking out the 25% off, please click the link down in the description below. I'll also leave it as a top comment for easy access for you guys. And I hope you guys find something cute. Maybe you can match with me, and maybe you can find your mom something really special for this Mother's Day. So to kick things off today, I actually have a pair of shoes. And if you're anything like me, you kind of love a sneaker. I'm always looking for both like a casual sneaker and then also more of like a running sneaker, you know, like something that's gonna like make me want to go on walks and boost me up a little bit. And I found one that actually has been kind of been fitting into both of those categories, surprisingly. And that's because I've seen so many people like styling these on Instagram and Pinterest and just making really cute like athleisure outfits, pairing it with like baggy denim and making it for more casual wear, but then also wearing it with like leggings and sweatpants and just like making an athleisure look. But these are the New Balance 9060s and they have some details here. I love this like little red here that says 9060 on it. And then another cool feature is like this side has the N and then this side has a stitched N. So just like kind of unique. Has like suede on the top. The bottoms are also red. But yeah, I love that these are just like very squishy. I need a shoe to like push me along, you know, like I need something that is just going to like get me moving and keep me going. So this is definitely one of those shoes. And yeah, it's something I've like been wanting to make my outfits around. Do you ever just have something in your closet that you are excited to put on and you want to make a whole outfit around it? That has been these shoes for me this month. Like I have just been so inspired. Like this to me, like this has been my cool item in my closet that I've been wanting to style my items around. And I love that. I feel like if you ever feel like maybe, you know, some of your clothes are outdated or you're just not loving them, I find it really helpful to just invest in like what's the like coolest piece that you can find that you're just like, I don't know, something that's just gonna spark joy for you. And sometimes it's just a New Balance sneaker. I mean, you know, you never know. I was actually inspired to get these from Claudia Oshry. She's my favorite. It's another whole other favorite I'll need to talk about one day is the podcast, The Toast. And she just styled these so cute and she got them for her and her sister. So, you know, I had to have them to match. And yeah, this is gonna be my sneaker for the year. Love it. So next I have a mascara favorite for you. So I really love makeup. I love trying new makeup, but my skin doesn't always love it. So I usually end up sticking to a lot of the same like face products, but I get to have a lot of fun with like my eyes and lips and that sort of thing. And I was watching TikTok one day and this girl made a video and her eyelashes looked gorgeous. And one of the coolest parts about TikTok is like reading through the comments. Honestly, on there, I spend more time in the comments than I do watching content because it's just fun to see people's reactions and their conversations and everything. So there was a video, the girl's eyelashes looked amazing, and someone put on, oh my gosh, what mascara are you wearing? And she said this. So this is the Tartelette tubing mascara from the brand Tarte, and I was intrigued by it. I'll show you guys what it looks like up close. And I was intrigued by it because I used to use a tubing mascara. I used to use one from Thrive Cosmetics and I liked it. For some reason, I switched to something else and just kind of like stopped using it. But when I saw it was a tubing mascara, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to try a tubing mascara again. So if any of you guys have never tried one before, it's one where like, it's almost like the whole thing like encapsulates around your eyelashes. So it's like the whole thing is filled with these fibers, you know, in the formulation, and they encapsulate your eyelashes and it makes like a tube around them. And so what I love about tubing mascaras is 1, they do not flake on me, they do not smudge on me, and 3, they are very easy to remove. So honestly, if you give me all 3 of those things, plus it looks good, I'm sold. And today is the end of the day, it's the end of the work day, so I'm sure my lashes are a little falling flat, but I'm telling you, like, this lasts all day. It's beautiful. I already can't wait to repurchase again. I feel like it's a very fair price. Anytime you get into that Sephora range prices, they're gonna be around $20, and yeah, I just would totally repurchase this again, and I think I will be. Okay, my next favorite is actually a website. and it's Rent the Runway. I don't know if you guys have used this before. I used it a lot in the past, and I was re-inspired to use it because I was going to a wedding, and the last wedding I went to, I purchased a dress from Anthropologie. I was like, this is a staple. I'll totally wear this again. And lo and behold, I have not worn it since. It was like, you know, a couple $100 out the window. And it was a beautiful dress, but I didn't want to do that again. And so I decided, you know, maybe I'll try Rent the Runway again. It is a little bit scary, you know, just like with measurements and everything, like, is the dress gonna fit you? But what I love about them is they send you 2 different sizes. And so my biggest tip for everybody is if you find a dress you like, go to the actual website that, like, for instance, the dress that I got was made by Reformation. So I actually went to the Reformation website and looked at their size charts and made sure I had my measurements correct, and then picked my size based off their actual size charts because I knew that would be the most accurate. But yeah, so I got that dress from Reformation. I also got to pick out a bag that matched, and I'll insert a picture here. I thought my outfit was so cute. You know, it's not like my ideal best fit ever, like whatever. You know, I know that's just going to be hard with finding something online with all of our bodies being different, but the amount of money it cost me, like just a fraction, and I got a dress and a bag that matched and I felt cute. Like, for me, that was so worth it. Like, for sure, one of my favorites this month. Saved the day, saved the game. Highly recommend. My next 2 favorites for you are actually craft related. So if you're crafty and you're on my channel because you already love craft things, my 2 craft favorites this month for sure have been the Addy Flexi Flips and Opal Yarn. So the Addy Flexi Flips look like this. I have one that's not in right now. I'll show it to you so you can kind of see it here. It has like a cord, has like almost like a cord in the middle. It doesn't swivel. And then 2 points on the end. So if you're a knitter, you know, like it's very similar to a DPN, but it bends. And I've just found it super easy to work with, fits so well in my hands. If you're familiar with my sock saga on my channel, I haven't really enjoyed knitting socks in the past, just with the 9-inch circular and DPNs. I've just found them both either like to hurt my hands or to be a little bit fiddly. And this, I've felt like it's been so comfortable and so enjoyable paired with this opal yarn. So, I mean, just look at this. This is working up beautifully. I'll talk about this more in my upcoming podcast episode. But yeah, this yarn, I'll insert some pictures of some favorites from them. I love that it's made in Germany. I love that they like create collections based off like art pieces or things in cities, like landmarks and that sort of thing. And yeah, I love that, like, just the spacing of the color changes, I think is just like so special and so unique. And I've just been enjoying making socks. So that's one. Like, last time I didn't enjoy making the socks and I didn't enjoy wearing them. So if I at least enjoy one of the 2 this time, we're getting somewhere. So right now I'm enjoying making the socks. We'll see if I enjoy wearing the socks, yet to be determined. But for right now, those for sure have been one of my favorites of the month. I've loved picking them up and loved making with them. Next, I wanted to mention to you ClassPass. So I'm one of those people where it's not so easy for me to work out. I kind of need some like motivation and someone helping me get there. And I've had this realization lately, like, I have some really great workout equipment at my house. I also have a workplace that has like beautiful gyms, but it's just hard for me to like literally put my shoes on and get in there. And I remembered the app ClassPass. I don't know what like made me trigger the reminder in my brain. I might have seen it somewhere on social media or something, but I had used the app literally like 10 years ago and I haven't used it since. And so I saw something, I re-downloaded it, and I have just been loving it. So what I love about it is it's such a good price. I knew like one of the things I really wanted to try fitness wise was Pilates. And at the gyms in Madison, to have like an unlimited month of Pilates, it's $200 a month, like very expensive. And so I loved, like when I downloaded the app, I was like, oh, like I can try Pilates for like something much more affordable. And it's literally, you guys, like I've been able to work out like 3 or 4 times a week for half that price. Like for, I would say I spend probably anywhere between $60 to $120 now on these workout classes. And while that's up there, that's been something that I've been prioritizing for me because I'm actually doing it. And I'm doing it because, like I said, like I'm just one of those people, like I need to wear a cute outfit and I need to go and be with other people who are like cheering me on and who are excited for me and I'm excited for them, and it just like feels like more of a community thing and we're moving our bodies together. So yeah, I've just been loving ClassPass. Like I've done in the past month, literally I've done yoga, Pilates, bar, boot camp, and a weightlifting class. And like how cool is that? Like I get to try all these really cool gyms for such a good price. I get to like, you can like book your time on the app, you can cancel it if you need to. And I love just like looking at my week, seeing what times could fit into my work schedule. Like the 6:30 and 7 a.m.s have been kind of my like sweet spot lately. But yeah, I just like, I highly recommend it. If you're someone like me where you've just been having a hard time, like literally just picking up your butt and going lately, I highly recommend trying ClassPass. I actually think there's like if you refer a friend, you give them like $20 off or something. So I'll look in my app and see if there's anything, but I'll leave it down below if I find something for you guys. And then lastly, I have for you, I thought it would be really fun if like every time I make these videos, if I do a favorite recipe, book, album, and TV show. I don't know, I just thought that would be fun because like those are things I'm always doing. I'm always consuming and always using those things. So first, for my favorite book, I had my book club this month and I actually got to pick this book. We all like put in books and voted on them, and the book that I recommended actually won, and it's called To Die For. And this is by Alden Wicker. And this is a book that's been popularized. She actually has a really popular blog as well. It's called ecocult.com. I'll link that down below as well. But the whole premise of this is how toxic fashion is making us sick and how we can fight back. And I have really enjoyed reading this just because I've always had like this conscious knowing of like fast fashion not being good for us. But I had no idea that the dyes and the chemicals that they use on clothes are really what's not good for us. So for me, it's always been a little bit more of like, okay, like I know plastic's not good for us. So like polyester clothes and like all my workout clothes, like I kind of had a hunch like, okay, those fabrics aren't good, like the fabric composition, but I had never thought before about the dyes. And another thing I had never thought about before is, you know, when you buy clothes and it says like stain resistant or wrinkle resistant or, you know, like if it has flame retardants or anything like that, I had never realized how bad those are. And one of the big premises in this book is just discussing, you know, even just as recent as a couple years ago, there's been a couple of really big airlines that have had huge issues with their uniforms and their employees getting super, super sick, getting rashes, getting like asthma and lung issues, autoimmune diseases, and that sort of thing, literally just from uniforms having those properties within them. So yeah, so it was just really interesting. I don't think this book is too fear-mongering. I think she tried really hard to do good research, and I think it has a long way to go. You know, she's just one person. She only interviewed a couple of people. I think we have a long way to go to learning just more about this and more about like how we can change and how we can dress better and how we can not hurt ourselves. You know, like at the end of the day, a lot of these things like come from a place of greed, selling clothes for cheaper, doing it faster, and that sort of thing. And so I'm hopeful that things will change in the future. But yeah, a couple of the biggest takeaways for me were just like, washing your clothes before you're wearing them, being a little bit more conscious about where you're purchasing your clothes from, buying from companies that are like GOTS certified or Okotex certified, that sort of thing. But yeah, if you watch this channel because you're a maker like me and you use yarns and fabrics, I think it's something you'd definitely be interested in, just like learning more about, how these things are dyed and what they're used for. But then also maybe like, just as a consumer, if you're watching this and you're not a maker, and you're buying your kids' clothes or yourself clothes on Shein or Temu or any of those fast fashion brands, I think it'd be like really insightful for you. Just think about this and perhaps thinking about just like purchasing more consciously. That's all we can do. It's just the best we can do with what we know and what we learn. So highly recommend that. And so that is my book. And then for my recipe, I have kind of this random chicken and asparagus recipe. So I had one of those days where I was like, okay, what the heck's in my fridge? What can I make with it tonight? And so I literally just Googled chicken and asparagus recipe because I knew I had chicken and I knew I had asparagus. And I found this. I knew, like, I also had some cream in my fridge. I also had some Parmesan. And I just found the ingredients to be like pretty simple, but so delicious. It's low carb if you care about that. And my husband and I just absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to make it again. It's kind of like creamy, just like very flavorful. It has like with the chicken broth and the cream and the Parmesan like mixing together. I also felt like it would be one of those that would be so good if you had some white wine to mix that in there as well. But yeah, this is definitely one of those that's like a staple that will go in our rotation. We absolutely loved it. I highly recommend it for you guys as well. I do think that kids would like it. If your kids will eat asparagus, I think that they would love it. So for TV show, I have been loving Shogun. So there's actually only one episode left. It actually released last night, so it'll be available on Hulu tonight. Hopefully my husband wants to watch it with me because oh my goodness, you guys, this show has just been so captivating for me. So it's one of those shows where like the first episode, you're world building, you're figuring out what's going on. I'll set the premise up here for you guys because I don't want to butcher it by describing it, but it's set, I literally can't even remember the year. I think it's 1860. This will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but it's set in Japan and it is just absolutely beautiful. Everything that the show, it's just like, it looks like a movie, first of all, and then the outfits and everything are really what drew me in at first. And just the cultural aspects of Japan, like learning about their slow life, their customs, just like the artistry, the poetry, the food, the rituals of the Japanese culture, I just find so beautiful and so enticing. And as someone that like lives in a Western world and in America, I know of their culture a little bit, but just not deeply. And so I find it fascinating and beautiful. And I would absolutely die to be on the costume set of this show because the fabrics and everything. I mean, I highly recommend it, simply just watching it from that standpoint. I started watching it actually because people were calling it the new Game of Thrones, which is one of my favorite series of all time. And then I also saw it has like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, okay, first of all, calling it the new Game of Thrones, having 99%, like fine, I'll try it. And the first episode, it takes a little bit to get into. Definitely watch it with captions. But then after the second episode, I promise you will be hooked. If you guys watch it, let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. There's a character, I won't ruin anything, but after you get past episode 9, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts because I'm freaking out over what happened. Please let me know what you thought. I hope you guys watch it because it's so good. It's so good. I really hope it comes back for another season. And lastly for today, I just wanted to talk about my favorite album, which, like, hello, if you look at me, if you guess my age, drumroll please, guess what it is. Of course, it's the Tortured Poets Department. I had to think there because I was like, I keep calling it TTPD, so it's kind of hard, and I always get it confused with the Dead Poets Society, you know, that movie. So anyways, of course, I am a Swiftie. I'm so excited that that album came out, and it's just been like really fun to listen to and to dissect along with so many other people. So I would say one of the most fun things about like being a Swiftie and being in the fandom is just like getting to experience it with all the other fans. And with social media, you can just consume so much content for it. And so I've probably listened to the album like 15 times now. I listen to it like when I'm working and just kind of like on repeat. And I love listening to an album that many times because when you get there, you start noticing like nuances and things you didn't notice before. And what's really interesting to me is like the first time you listen to an album, you might not like it and you might think it sounds all the same. And then the more and more you listen to it, you pick up on things that you hadn't heard before and you just appreciate it in a whole new way. So that's been something that's just been like so enjoyable for me with this album is, yeah, like dissecting it with other fans, like through online content, figuring out like how devastating her relationship was with Maddie Healy that we all thought was like a 2-week situationship. Like we didn't even know, like, was that a relationship? Was it just like for media? And figuring out it was this whole big thing, this relationship she kind of went in and out of. I just felt like it was very relatable. I think a lot of us have had similar feelings and we've been let down by people like she has. And so yeah, it's just been so good to analyze and to react to it with other fans and just to like appreciate some of the musical nuances in it. One of my favorite tracks is her doing the I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and her having the click track in it, like the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what she hears in her in-ears when she's on stage. And I love that it feels like you're at the concert in the song, and you're just living like yeah, she can do all this with a broken heart. She can pretend and like be Taylor Swift even when she's really going through it. So I just appreciated like all of that coming together in a song. And then the same, the Feels Like High School, the one about Travis Kelce. Taylor is a similar age to me, and this song just sounds like high school. Like it just evokes so much nostalgia. And so yeah, there's things like that, and you know, I could talk through every song, but I don't need to do that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I highly recommend, like, for anybody that any new album, you know, like if you don't really like it at first, like if you keep listening to it, that can just be one of the most enjoyable parts of music, is to just keep like experiencing it and dissecting it and the poetry and putting yourself in her shoes. And yeah, it's fun. Like music is so enjoyable, so fun. The craziest part to me is like there were a couple songs that like initially I felt like were slow songs, and now I listen to them and I'm like, yeah, like I don't know. It's just crazy how music can transform. And it can transform your attitude and just make you like more insightful about certain things and whatever. So yeah, so those are my favorites for the month. I hope I steered you guys to something exciting. I hope that you take one of my recommendations, that you're as excited about it as I am. Thank you again to our sponsor of today's video, Louisa. I hope you guys check that out too for your moms, the 25% off. Such a good deal. And yeah, I'll be back with you guys shortly with another podcast episode updating you about all of my makes. And until then, I hope you have a good rest of your week. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.